man can be a codependent, or they both can be codependent. Now, codependent doesn't mean I'm this evil person. It means that I take a liking and I cling to people um, because of daddy issues, because of abandonment issues that I went through. And it created this thing like I'm not good enough as a child. And when you go through something like that as a child, once you get in a relationship, and you feel like the relationship is going south, it brings back those thoughts of abandonment. And people don't really understand that. People, when you get out of a relationship and you're crying and you're upset and you're really down and you're really depressed, a lot of people don't understand it because it's a trigger. It's a trigger to your past. It was a trigger to my past. Every time I was hurt, it was a trigger from childhood, a trigger from my father never owning me until I got in my 40s. A fact that my father and his family lived next door across the street from me. His family lived across the street from me as a little child, and I never was able to see him. The fact that he denied me and basically said my mother was a liar created issues. It created this negative image of men. And even though I trusted men, it was still a negative image of what would be to come. So even being a codependent, when I get in relationships, or when I did get in relationships, I had trust issues. Because if you can't trust your own father and he turned his back on you, why wouldn't a man turn his back on me? So just kind of go back through your life and look at where codependency, abandonment issues started, because it's going to trickle into your relationships. It's going to trickle into your friendships. It's going to trickle into your career because of the things you went through in your past. So if you're a person that's dealing with codependency, if you're a person that's dealing with abandonment, you definitely need to get counseling. You need to do research and really look into it, because it will take you under and it festers. And codependency can turn into alcoholism. It can turn into you being a drug addict. It can turn into issues with wanting to commit suicide. It can destroy your family. And with codependency, it trickles down to your kids because they see a pattern with you and how you do things, and then they decide, and they don't even know it, they end up doing those things. So I've talked to both of my adult children, and I say, hey, the way mom did things, this is not the way you want to do it. Be careful. Be careful when latching on to people too soon. Be careful if people are a little extra nice with you too much, too fast. Because that's something you saw me do when you were younger. So just pay attention, educate your children, educate your teenagers, because especially in the Black community, we don't really understand what codependency is. And we'll just say, oh, he's stupid. Oh, she's stupid. Oh, she's desperate. No, there's something really going on in that situation. So when you're dealing with codependence, just understand that there's more to the story. You have to look deeper into that situation. And codependents also have to understand you're a target. You're a target for manipulation. You're a target to be taken advantage of. And you wonder why? It's because, like I said in the other video, familiar spirits, they're wanting something from you. Remember I said earlier, codependents and narcissists normally get together because there's something the narcissist wants from you that you have that is weak within you that he's tapped into. And there's something in that narcissist that you've gravitated to. You might start out liking him controlling the situation, and you might like the love bombing, but eventually, again, it goes south. So just know that. So take an evaluation, look at your situation. If you're having issues breaking free, you can't let them have free time. You don't want to have free time. All you want to do is sit up under your mate. You got to look at that because it's not healthy. It's not healthy. You each need to have your own lives. Um, so I say this in love. Codependency is real. Codependency is hard to get out of. And I just pray that if you're in that situation, that you will look to God, that you will look to counseling, that you will look to reading, and that you'll look to not keeping it a secret, because this is another phase of codependency. When you're in a codependent relationship with a narcissist or someone else, when the relationship is bad, you get quiet. You don't tell anybody about it. Nobody knows how really bad it is until it's over. So if you are in a codependent relationship, go to someone that you trust and talk to them, because when you speak it out, what's going on, that's when you can make that decision to leave that situation. I'm not saying tell everyone, but someone you trust, don't keep it a secret. Because many people you see at the fair, you see at church, you see on the streets, they're holding hands, they're lovey-dovey, they're on Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram, and they're all in love. But behind the scenes, it is nothing but hurt and pain and dysfunction and manipulation going on. So just don't hide it anymore. Don't hide it. You don't have to be fake. You don't have to be somebody you're not, because the longer you hold on to something, like I said in the video earlier, you're going to be 40, 50, 60, 70 years old just making a decision to remove yourself.